Okay, so I have this, okay, script. Maybe we'll give some heading to it, okay, or rather I would say you can give here like my web page, okay, something, and I'm going to give something in the title as well. My website, let's say, okay, just to set up things. Now here, let's say I have something called as let a equal to 5, let b equal to 6, and now I say c equal to a plus b, right? And I type console dot log and I say c here, okay? Now how do I run it? I go, and of course I say start debugging, and I open Chrome, right? So see here, you see debug console here, and output is printed here. So console will
Yeah.
print in the debug control here,
Okay.
okay?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And mm, you can even go to Chrome, okay? Let's say here it is Chrome, right? And here go to Alt F, more tools, okay? And you go to developer tools. So it opens the developer tool and you can actually see the complete code that we have written there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So exact code you can see here,
Okay.
right? So of course, like when you don't have access, you can go and see. So here you see console,
Yes.
right? So see the same output you have it here. So you can see for any code. You don't have to see in the editor. You can go and see the output here as well, right? So this is useful when you want to debug. You want to, see
See
what
your
is happening,
yeah, see your code step by step.
right? So
So, sir,
let's
you
say
did F12 or F11 you did?
no, no, no. Alt F for files, right? Alt F if
All.
you do on Chrome,
Mm-hmm.
so you'll see here more tools,
Okay.
and in more tools you have developer tools.
Okay.
Okay,
Sir,
and
why
this
is also you do by doing F12 also you'll directly go to
correct,
the
correct. But I wanted to show you this long way so that you don't have to remember F12, right? Even if you forget. And one more thing is the moment you move here, right, it will tell you where your, which code is
yeah,
where,
yeah, correct,
right?
correct.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have console here. Now I'll close it. And what I'll do here, I will say debugger. Okay. Generally, we use semicolon here. I say debugger. Okay. Now, if I run it, you see, debugger is waiting here. This is how you give breakpoint. It
Okay.
will wait here. It's not going. It actually paused. Did you
Mm-hmm.
understand? So if you
Not good.
look at the code here, it is still running. It has paused here. So debugger is to pause. Wherever you give, the flow will
Okay.
pause here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, you can You see here option, okay, continue. I click on continue. Next, it went and stopped at next debugger. So, generally program will execute all the lines very fast, correct? So you may not be able to see what is happening, but you want to control and see what kind of output is coming here. Then you can write debugger and your program will pause there. And once you're ready, then you understood and then you say, continue, continue. And the program has executed. This is very useful to see the output. You want to see what kind of output it is, then it is useful. Okay, so this is good thing to learn. Okay, um, let me comment it out. The console, you can print it in the console, and debugger, you can temporarily pause the execution of uh, the program. Okay,
Yes, sir. Debugger, debugger.
okay. We have already done functions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there's also
I think you were talking about class, I believe.
okay. Yeah, we'll do class. Okay. So there's one more thing called as one-line function. Okay. Also, we call it as arrow function. Okay. So arrow function are like one-line function. Okay. um, Here you can write the entire function in one line. Okay. So it's called arrow function. So just like you define variable, okay, you say let my function, okay, equal
Mm-hmm.
to, now you want, and this is useful when the logic can be done in one line. Okay, obviously it's one line function. So whatever you want to do, the logic can be done in one line. So let's say you take three values as input, x, y, and z, and then you try to perform some on it. Let's say you're saying 2 into x minus y plus 0.38z, let's say, if this is what you want to do, of course, into z, right? So this is a way of writing function. It's called one line function. Okay, it's called arrow function because you see this arrow here.
Yeah.
So we don't have to, we don't have to um, uh, what do you call, like, write bracket open, bracket close, right? You don't have to do all this directly. You can write in one line. Okay. So key things to remember: let function name equal to, that's the first thing. Then
Mm-hmm.
you give the input parameters. Okay. And this is your return value.
XYZ.
That's the input. And
Mm-hmm.
this you'd write as like normal return value kind of. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you want to see the output, how do we call a function here? So let's say I want to see the output, right? So I'm going to say let val1 val equal to my function. My function is the name, right? And then you pass the value for x,
Directly,
y, z.
you can directly alert also, right? Alert.
Yeah. So first I have to calculate the value, isn't it? 5, 8,
Hmm.
and say 100. Okay. Now you can say alert, right? Alert val. So this is the function, right? And I'm calling this function here. Now you say alert and you display the output. Console, I'm going to continue. Okay. Now you see output is 40. Okay. Function has been calculated as 40. So 0.38 into 100 is 38. Twice into 5 is 10. 10 minus 10 plus 40 minus 48 minus 8 is 40. Right? So, you can write one line function like this. Okay. Now let's talk about class and objects. Okay. Um, why do we use class?
To store memory
Okay. So see, the purpose is that we give
or execute.
similar, yeah, we
Mhm.
give similar, uh, like, okay, so I'll give you this example first. Let's say I say apple, right?
Huh.
Now, I don't have to explain you what apple is. Why? I say that I'm eating apple, and I don't have to explain you what apple is because, there is a meaning of apple, which everybody in the world knows, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using
Mm-hmm.
phone. I'm working on laptop. I'm using Windows OS. Now, these are the words which you don't have to explain because everybody knows what Windows is, what laptop is, what phone is, because there's a definition around it. Okay. So, but how many laptops would be there in the world? Lakhs of laptops, right? Millions of laptops.
Correct.
Okay. They all have same functionality. That's why they're called laptops. Okay. But when I'm using, I need a specific laptop, right? Now, there are some properties which are specific to laptop, and there are some properties which are specific to my laptop, which I am using. Okay. So when you talk about definition, it is like class. You're defining, you create a definition. Okay. When somebody says it's a laptop, it's a definition. You're defining it. Okay. And if I try to explain what laptop is, you'll say, no, 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 I know what laptop is. Right? That means for you, the laptop is defined, the class is defined. You know what class is, you know what that specific class is, and then class also has two things, right? One, um, when you talk about members, right? So it will be one variables, right? What is the screen size? Okay, what is the make, type, and then functionality, what all things it can do. So class typically is a collection of variables and functions grouped together to give one certain meaning to it. Okay, so that but to use you need to create objects so that when we create objects, all the objects get same properties.
Hmm.
Okay, meaning of laptop is defined. So when I say laptop, I say I'm playing cricket with laptop. You'll say what? How can you play cricket with laptop? Because playing cricket is not a function which is defined for laptop, right? If I'm doing it, I'm doing something different which is not defined. So you'll ask me, no, it is not defined in laptop. Don't call it laptop then, right? Now, again, if you talk about the usage, their class will be used as class or as object. Object, okay, is a usage of class, and it has some values which will be common for all the laptops, but there are some values which are specific to the laptop I'm using, like company, right? Which make I'm using is a property of the object, not of class laptop. Okay, so let's get and started. Let's start talking about it. Okay, so let's say I define a class called laptop. Let's say class laptop. Okay, and class laptop, when you define, it will be in a bracket here. So I'm not telling, I'm telling what are the properties. Okay, I'm telling you, you are hearing it for the first time what laptop is. Okay, because it's a definition. So I'm telling you what class is. Now, class, as I said, can have class level variables, class level variables, class level functions, and they are called as methods. Okay, functions are called as methods in class. So class level means these variables, this method will be common across all the object. Now, if I tell you, if I ask you what is the population, right? That is, so human being, let's say I'm talking about the human being population, human population. So human is a class, okay? And whether I'm talking, if I'm talking about total population of the world, right? Okay, it doesn't matter which object you're talking about, because everyone whom I ask, like I am an object of human class, you're also object of human class, right? But the property, if I ask you how many human population, how many human beings are there, answer would be same, because this is about the class. Okay, but what is my height? Okay, what am I eating? These are specific to the object, not entirely common to the class. Okay, so maybe I can define here, or I'll do it later. Okay, we'll define a variable which is applicable for all class. Now, similarly, there will be some object level variables. Object level variables will not be actually defined openly here. Object level variables will be part of a object level method. So to use an object level variables, you have to define object level method. So one of the most common method is called constructor, right? The constructor purpose is that, generally we use it to initialize any variables. Constructors are called automatically when you create an object. Okay, when you create an object of a variable, the constructor class is automatically called. So let's say when you create a laptop class, I want it to tell me what make it is and what is the operating system. So I'll say constructor and I'm saying make, comma, OS. Okay. Now I'm going to define your object level variables here. So how do you differentiate object level variable with class level variable? In object level variable, we put this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this dot, okay, um, make company equal to make. Okay. So make is the variable that we will be passing when we create an object of laptop, and I'm adding this to here. Now this dot OS equal to OS. Okay. So this is another object level variable which we will pass when we create an object. Okay. So now this is just a class definition. Okay. We are okay. So class definition as such, it is only for understanding. When somebody tells you what class is, or apple is, that is only to show you. That doesn't mean that you'll get apple to eat. Now, how do you eat the apple? How do you use the class? We use the class by creating object. Okay, so now I'm going to create our first object. Create object of class laptop. So I'm going to say Sachin's laptop. Okay, again you can say let, oops, let Sachin laptop equal to, okay, this is the key. Let object name again can be yours, equal to new class name laptop. The moment I call this instruct constructor will be called automatically. Constructor needs two variables. Okay, so I'm going to say HP and I'm going to say Windows. Okay, I can create another object. Okay, I'm going to say
Sir, why
uh,
two? You put you put key and value, sir, here.
where,
No,
ma'am?
same. No, this constructor. Why did you put two?
Are you watching what I'm doing, or are you watching somewhere else?
No, the
Huh?
what you
Watching my
did.
screen only, no?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So now,
after new, I
huh.
understand this one. Sachin laptop equal to new laptop.
No, look at line number 26. What I have here, I've created a function with two parameters, two arguments, isn't it?
Mm-mm. Yes.
Right? Okay. Don't code along with me. You have time to code. Just watch
No,
I'm
I'm
doing,
not. I'm
right?
not.
Okay,
So,
okay,
sir,
fine. Yeah.
okay. So, what when you said function also and you said constructor also,
Constructor is a function, special function. Okay.
अच्छा,
It's a function only. Constructor is a special
okay, okay,
function which is written in class and is called automatically. Okay, it's called automatically when you create object. So see, I could have written some other function also. Need not be, same function. I could have said my own function. But when you write constructor, the advantage is you don't have to call it automatically. Sorry, you don't have to call it. It calls automatically. Okay, you don't have to call it specifically that. Okay, call my constructor.
oh, yes, sir.
Okay, that's the beauty of creating constructor. Okay. So, okay, uh, I could have, created my own stuff. I could have created my own function, and I could have, call that function. But I could have, I would have had to create the object first and then specifically call the function. We'll do that. Okay, we'll do one more function where um, we could have specifically call that function. But the way of doing or why we do constructor is that it is called automatically, right? You don't have to specifically, okay, call this function. So you are saving one step by creating this point one. Point two, you know, generally when we define it, see, whenever we create something, right? First thing is we define it. Okay, like for example, if I have to create a laptop, I know what make it is, what OS I want to install, right? So it is better that you call put it in constructor so that you don't have to call it specifically. You're saving one line of code.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you want to do automatically when object is created, you should do in constructor because it is called automatically the moment you create an object. The moment you create an object, it is called,
Yeah. The moment you create an object, the constructor will automatically
gets called.
call. Mhm.
So you don't have to specifically call it. Now when I run it, okay, three objects are now created. Okay, of course. Um, okay, three objects are created, and you don't notice because I have not done anything with it.
Mhm.
But of course, I can Now, see, the beauty here is, okay, um, when I, okay, now what I'll do here, okay, um, let me put it in the debug only, okay, console, okay. Now see, I have created three objects, okay, and but I'll say Kohli console, Kohli laptop dot, okay, dot what? Dot the variables that we have given. So make company and make OS, these are the two variables which are specific to the object. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
say, let's say I want to see what is the OS of this particular object. Kohli laptop is the object. I want to see what is the OS value. Now when you run it, if the copy is there, now you see it has printed Linux. Though we have given three values, it is able to keep track of each specific value here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Now let's say mm, this is my class. I'm going to create one more method. Okay. Now I'm going to call this as function age. Okay. Okay. And um, in here, what I'll do is I will also have year. Year is purchase year. Okay. So I say this dot purchase year equal to year. So this is the purchase year, right? I want to find the laptop age. Okay. So here I'm going to say, okay, um, okay, let's create a date variable. So I'm going to say let date equal to new date. New is small, sorry, and date is capital. Okay. Now this is creating object of date class. It's an inbuilt class, okay, with predefined class. Predefined class. Okay, so I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to create date and I'm going to find the age. Okay, so I'm going to say age val, and this age val is an object level. So I'm going to say this dot age val, okay, equal to the today's date. Okay, so I'm going to say date is the object dot, okay, get full year. I want only the year. Okay, so this will give us 2022 and purchase year, whatever, right? So purchase year is this dot purchase year. Done. Okay, so now to find age, I cannot directly say this dot age val for the object. I have to call first the age function. Okay, I want to know what is the age of Kohli's laptop. So first I have to say, okay, Kohli dot age. Okay, now this is not returning any value. This is not returning, so I cannot say equal to Kohli laptop. If it was returning, we would have said year equal to Kohli laptop dot age. But it is creating a inbuilt or object level variable called age value. So now I can say console dot log, okay, Kohli's laptop age in years is okay. Kohli laptop dot okay age val. This is the variable which has the value.
Mm-hmm. Age well, yes.
Okay? Now what I'll do to save to execute it faster, this alert I have somewhere, right? Uh, let me do console only. Okay, let me display it because we do alert. It is waiting for us to click OK, right? Console.log. Okay. Uh, okay. Now let's run this. Okay. Why? Because when we created this object here, okay, it is expecting three variables. We gave only two, right? So we have to give third variable here, which year purchase, right? So let's say Sachin purchased in 2011, Kohli purchased in 2019, and Dhoni purchased in 2022, right? So now when we run it,
Oh.
oh, no, this is not right. Kohli 2019. Oh, purchase year, right? This dot purchase year, this is correct. And this dot is val equal to date is minus purchase year. This looks correct. Let me try to print if this is working here. Console.log this dot is val. Is it working here? Let's see. No, it is not getting, this is not working. That's why it's giving nan here also. So age, did we call age? Yes, we called age, core laptop dot age. And age is saying let date equal to new date. That is okay, equal to date dot get. Oh, this is a function, sorry. Okay, this is a function here. Now we will get it. Okay, so see, because we purchased in 2019, the age is 3 years. Yes? Any doubt here? Ma'am? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I think you are on mute. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you understand this? Okay. Now you can add multiple functions here. Okay. I want to print something. Okay. So I'll say here display. Okay. And I'm going to say console dot log. Okay, and here I'm going to say, okay, see now, I can add one more variable here called person. Okay, so I'm going to say this dot person equal to person, and when we are passing this, we will pass here the name also. So this is your Dhwani. Okay, this is, let's say, Kohli, and let's say this is Sachin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here display console this dot person, okay, plus has a laptop of, okay, Dhoni has a laptop of, okay, and here I'll say this dot make company. Hmm.
Under one constructor, you can write n number of.
This is not constructor, this is a function. Constructor ended here.
No, sir, but in name type mistake. So you can write n number of this
N
key.
number of method. This is creating a one more method. This is
No,
another
no.
method.
But in one, the top one, 28 to 30, you allow to write n number of
Yeah,
time
yeah, yeah. N
this
number of properties you can have, right?
using
Why
this
should there
key.
be a restriction? N number of properties. These are the values of, okay, these are the values. See, I told you, right? When we talk about a class, Apple, what is the size, shape, size, price? These are variables. What is the
Mhm.
shape? Round. What is the price? Okay, so much dollar. Which make it is, right? You can have n number of variables, and these are the properties. What it can do? We can find the age. We can display the details, right? You can write n number of methods here, functions. You can have n number of variables here. You can have n number of methods here. We can have n number of variables here also. We'll see later maybe. Here I'm not getting any idea what to do, but you can have, see, mostly we use object level class or method only. Object level variables and functions. There can be class level also. We'll see. We will add more to this. But yes, you can define any number of variables. These are variables. Okay,
But
since
you,
these are object level variable, I'm putting this dot person.
this is a key, right, sir? And a person is a variable
Who said
name.
it's a key? What do you mean by key? What do you mean by key? Which key? What do you mean by key? You tell me.
This is what do you call this? Is a variable you said?
This is a function, ma'am. I'm passing the arguments. Where do you see the key? I told you constructor is a function. It's a function,
Huh.
right?
Huh.
And these are the arguments. If you go here, this is function and these are the arguments which I've given. Three arguments. Here it has four arguments,
Yes.
right? So where do you see the word key? Why do you say key?
Why are you using this but?
Why are we doing this? This is how class is used, ma'am. Class is a collection of variables and functions. Didn't I say that?
Yes.
So these are the variables and these are the functions.
Okay. I think in Selenium, in under the
Don't
class
worry
name,
about Selenium. I told you we have already.
getting
No, we should practice this. We are in JavaScript, right? Right?
okay.
And
Okay,
that's what
okay.
I'm saying. Wait, wait,
Let
wait.
me
No,
clear.
no, 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 no. Hold on. Okay. Uh,
No, sir,
hold on,
don't go,
hold on,
don't go.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me finish it. Then you talk. Okay, just a second. Just a second. Just give me a second. Huh? Have you done this? practice 4? We have already done this, isn't it? What is this? Function. What are
Huh.
these? Arguments. Aren't we
Mhm.
calling this function and passing these values here?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
why are you getting doubt here? You tell me.
Okay.
In Selenium also
Why
we don't use key here. Where do you use key in Selenium? Tell me.
under the class or under the object you use this keyword, sir,
This
to
is a
call for
keyword. This is not key. This is
this is not
keyword.
key.
This is keyword. Don't say key. Key has a different meaning. Keyword has a different meaning. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. This is a key, which means this variable is an object level variable, not a class level variable. When you don't use this, if I have to define something here, okay, I will say let total equal to 0. Okay, or simply I say total equal to 0. Now, when you say total equal to 0, this becomes a class level variable. Okay, and when I have to use it, I will say laptop dot total. Okay, when I'm using it, but defining it, I'm directly saying total equal to 0. This is your class level variable. Okay, how is this different than this? This is object level. This is specific to object. I told you there are some variables which are common for class, like how many keys you have. Number of keys on a laptop probably will be same for all the make, right? Okay, whether you're using Dell or HP or whatever, Lenovo, the number of keys will be same. But there are some variables which are specific, different from object to object, like make operating system. Your laptop can have different operating system. My laptop can have different operating system. So these are object level. So to make it different than class level, we use this. This is a keyword which we say this dot person. That means it becomes an object level variable.
Okay.
This is a keyword. This is not key. Key is what we did in maps. Okay. When you go to map here, right? This is key and this is value.
Yeah.
This is key. This is called key. Key value.
I know, sir. This I got it. The one thing I tell you, this key here, I when I see, I got, I
It
feel
also
like
has same purpose in Selenium also. Selenium also it is same thing. This means we are using for variable which is object level variable. Same thing. In Selenium also we use same thing. Did you understand? Okay.
Mhm.
And your program mostly it is going to be like class and objects only. Okay. Okay, everything is declared as class. What we have learned so far is bits and pieces. Now we are putting everything together. Functions we have learned separate, variables we have learned separate. Now we are putting together under one logical header called class. Class, okay. In real purpose, in real world, we use class level thing. Okay. Now there are two ways of programming. One is called procedural programming, and is called object-oriented programming. Earlier, what we did was procedural programming. That means, we look at the procedure, what we should achieve. Okay, do this, do this, do this, and you are done. No, but we are all individuals. We are all live human beings, right? Our life is not finished when we are done. Okay, for example, taking this class is a procedure. Okay, we meet at 7 o'clock, we finish at 8 o'clock. It's a procedure that we are following. Okay,
Mhm.
but we don't die after 8 o'clock. We are not born at 7 o'clock, right? Before 7 you were doing something else, I was doing something else. After 8 I'll be doing something else, you'll be doing something else. So we are all like an object. Okay, and we do multiple such processes. Each of the process is defined as a function. So age is one, display is one, eating is one, sleeping is one, running is one, right? So all these are functions that we do. Class is once, I mean, not this class, I mean to say this training class is one such function that we are doing now. After this class, you'll do something else, I'll be doing something else. So
Mhm.
the real world, okay, programming is generally, represented using class and objects. So we represent using class and objects. Okay. So class, but then the confusion is there will be some variables which is as class level. There will be some variables which is object level. Object level variables will be specific, different for different object. Class level variable will be same for all the object. How many classes are there? Whether you are Sachin laptop, you are Kohli laptop, or you are Dhoni laptop, everybody should say that there are three classes or three objects rather. Sorry, not classes. There are three objects. All three should say there are three objects because we have created three new laptop. So all these should say there are three objects. But which operating system you are using will be different for different object. Sachin will say I'm using Windows. Kohli will say I'm using Linux. Dhoni will say I'm using Mac. So different object will say different operating system. That's why it is the object level variable. But how many objects are there? Everybody should say same number of objects. Dhoni will not say three. Kohli will not say two. Sachin should not say one. Because number of objects is how many we created. We created three. So everybody, all three should say three.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's why there's a difference between object level and class level.
Okay, sir.
There's a difference between class level. Okay, so um, um, mm, that this is okay. The this okay is what? This indicates object level variables, object level values that we are supposed to work with.
Mhm.
Yes, tell me.
No, nothing, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is very much okay. I was talking about. I'll just finish off this. So Kohli has a laptop of this make, which uses this dot os. Okay, and is year old. Okay. So now if I have to okay, if I have to do for Sachin, let's say. Okay. So first thing first, I have to call Sachin dot age to calculate age, and then Sachin dot display to display the output. Now when you run it, oops, stop it and then run it. Sachin has a laptop of HP make which uses Windows and is 11-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you can call each member of this class. So again, we'll stop here and I want you to practice this. Okay. Try with some other class. Don't use same laptop. Okay. Use something else, use some other variable, use some other function. Look at this. Look at what I have
Mhm.
done and use it in some. See, we are learning, so it doesn't have to be logical also, right? Do something else, but you should be able to see your expected output and then you let me know if it worked or not.
Okay.